welcome to IMTV. My name is Corine Fairbanks, and tonight we have some special guests with us. We have Mr. Pablo Romero, a community organizer with Families Act, and we also have Dr. Barbara Lotito with Pueblo, and we also have Mr. Ben Shalant, who's a consumer advocate with the Consumer Advocate Coalition. And tonight we're going to be talking about a really exciting new project that they're all working on. It's regarding street theater, and I was kind of hoping that Pablo could give us a little bit more information on that.
Well, thank you for having us, Corine. Yes, Despierta was born as an intention of delivering Families Act message to the community. Families Act is an agency that advocates for people with mental illness and or problems with drug and alcohol consumption that usually end up in the jail system instead of being properly treated. So we wanted to use this tool of street theater as a means of getting out to the community and delivering this message and empowering the people who have lived around these issues to really speak up. And well, by doing this, by creating this idea, we found that it was a very intense and powerful community reaching tool also, because we started inviting similar organizations to this project, and all of a sudden it starts building up and bringing different issues into this view. And well, we're very excited about the whole process and how it's been developing.
All right. And so I remember you were mentioning that Pueblo is also a contributing member to this project, and I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, we are actually working with a lot of the undocumented workers here, and who have been affected by secure communities. And what's happened is that under the guise of deporting the criminal element, they're actually deporting people who are guilty of the crime of jaywalking or texting while being parked on the side of the car or reporting domestic abuse. And so one of the things, I'm both on the board, but I'm a member of the Immigration Committee, and so we've been holding workshops to help Latinos understand how to react in this situation. And one of the things we were trying to do is to do some theater around role-playing, how to interact with the police, because at this point, and many people don't know this, that the police are actually acting as immigration or feeding this information to ICE. And so I went into the director and said, how can we do this? And she said, Pablo Romero. Mm-hmm. And so it's wonderful because Pueblo is working with coalitions, and this is a coalition effort now. We're very excited to be part of it.
Mm-hmm. And maybe, Ben, can you give us a little bit of background on how your organization got involved with this?
The Consumer Advocacy Coalition, we have been a grassroots organization for maybe four or 5 years, and we were umbrellaed under Families Act recently, and that's how a number of us have found our way to this community theater project.
Okay. I remember, Pablo, when you and I first started talking about this, I was very impressed by this very unique approach and how to address this, how to use, I guess, guerrilla theater in a way to reach out to the community. And but then again, it's really not that new of an approach. It actually has a history behind it, and I was really interested in that. Could you give me a little bit more information on that?
Yes, well, it's definitely the first idea that came into our minds when we started developing the concept was the guerrilla theater, this process that took place on the 60s, early 70s. And as a means of getting this political message out, and also the power that it has in going into the places where the people are gathered rather than waiting for the people to come to you. That's also something that attracted us very much, the possibility of being here, being there, and it's very interesting, particularly because we wanted to reach out the marginalized communities, the Spanish-speaking community who otherwise would be deterred from going into the traditional venues of theater, or any people and any part of the community that it's difficult to attract. We're planning on going there and delivering our message.
Okay, so Transit Center, Santa Barbara, Chapala Street,
Even,
State Street.
Yeah, even La Barda, yes,
okay.
yeah.
Milpas.
Milpas, yeah. And of course, we might use the traditional venues also. But yes, definitely the Chapala Station, it's very attractive to us. Or churches, I don't know, this kind of places. It's something we are also shaping up still. We don't want to call this project a close and definite process. We're still developing new ideas, and the participation of people like Pueblo, or even some people from the community who have joined us because they heard of us through the radio or through other people. This has really brought us a very wide spectrum of what we want to really approach through this project.
So many people are not aware of how large the mental health issue is in our communities. Do you have any statistics that you could share with us and our viewers about how our communities are not talking about this, what our communities are dealing with? And obviously the Native American community, we don't talk about it. It's huge. It's an issue that impacts many families, but we don't talk about it. Can you share with me some of the statistics that you brought with you?
Well, definitely. Just to tell you, the California prison system, it's built for 100,000 people. Right now it has 170,000 people. And around 80% of them have alcohol or other drug problems. Most of them have also some kind of mental issue around it. So mentally ill people tend to self-medicate, and they end up in the jail system, in the criminal system. Right now we're criminalizing the drug consumption. We're criminalizing even the mentally ill. And starting in the 70s, during the Nixon administration, there was a war on drugs declared, and from that point on, the number of people incarcerated have soared up 1,200%. So right now we're the country who is imprisoning more people around the world. Although we only have 5% of the world's population, we have 25% of the incarcerated population around the world. And mainly it's because of these drug policies.
And also because prisons are a business. They run like a corporation, and they need business.
Definitely, definitely. They have to create their own market.
Exactly. And I think you had mentioned earlier the statistics regarding undocumented people, and California, Santa Barbara, having one of the highest rates.
Yes, actually, the rate of deporting people who are not guilty of any criminal charge. In fact, this is done before they're even processed. And so what happens is we all want the criminal element to be taken care of in one way or another and not there to harm anybody. But when 80% of the people who are being arrested and deported because simply of the fact that they are Latino and not guilty of any crime